everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to ABTG Chat. My name is Newly, and this is my co-host,
Becky, and today we are going to be talking about heartbreak and just bossing up and just becoming yourself again. And honestly, personally, I have gone through heartbreak multiple times, but there are just those ones that truly teach you a lot about yourself. I mean, I know I can relate to that, and for Newly,
yeah, no, I feel like we can both relate to our first really bad heartbreak, and then after that, it's just not as bad, or you just feel not numb, but it just doesn't phase you anymore. Does that make sense, or is it just me?
yeah, and I think we've been friends since our first heartbreaks, right?
Yeah. I think we were
Yeah.
both 18, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, my first one, the first time it happened, we were friends. Yeah.
Yeah, bitch. National Chicken Day.
I guess we can start off by saying, what does heartbreak mean to us and to you? Personally, for me, I don't think, I mean, my very first heartbreak was with my ex-boyfriend of 1 to 2 years. We actually broke up the first year and then we got back together, and we had been together for another year and then broke up again. And I feel like that was one of the hardest heartbreaks. But the second time we broke up was a different recovery than it was the first time. I also feel like I have had heartbreaks where I was not labeled with this person, but I
Mhm.
was emotionally invested or just kind of invested in them. Like, we had a mutual agreement that, yeah, we like each other, whatever. And then they kind of just ghosted me or just didn't want to pursue that relationship. And I still would see that as a heartbreak because of the investment that you have on somebody.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like, well, personally for me, my first heartbreak, we weren't even together. I don't know, it was really sad because I was so emotionally invested in this person, and I thought he was emotionally invested in me, and then at the end, I just ended up getting screwed over and really hurt, and I think that just made me realize my own self-worth. And I think the biggest red flag I should have seen is if someone likes you, they would tell you and not claim you, but they would genuinely want to show you off or just be with you. And that's not what this relationship was, or whatever we had was. It was more so just like the
Mm-hmm.
physical things, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. How you said, not claiming you, like, you don't need the label if you guys aren't ready for that, because I think that, having the label means a true commitment. Because I mean, why would you just date to just date? Like, I personally think people date to marry, and if you are going to be labeled as boyfriend and girlfriend, you're building this foundation together, and maybe you guys aren't completely ready for that yet, which is fine. When it comes to being emotionally invested in somebody and telling them and letting them know, like, I want to get there with you, but we're just not there yet, and let's just keep working on that, is so different from, I really like you, I just don't want to really claim that yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel, well, this is obviously just Becky and I's opinion, and that's why it's so easy for us to talk about it with each other because we have the same views. And if you're dating someone with no intention of marrying and you just want to kind of fool around, like no judgment at all, you do you. Like, we're just talking about our own experiences just because I feel like we're pretty similar with wanting to intentionally be with someone who is ready to marry. We don't want to waste our time and their time to just be hanging out around with them, especially if they're meeting our families, if obviously if I'm bringing you around my family, I see a future with you. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just everyone has their own different views, but this is just our own views and our own perspectives.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first heartbreak. Like, how old were you? When was it? And did you see it coming at all?
I mean, my first couple relationships in middle school, high school, whatever, it was we dated for like a month or less, and I knew that I just like wasn't ready for a relationship because I just felt like it was just kind of, oh, I'm dating you just to have a boyfriend kind of thing, versus this first heartbreak was more of, I feel like I kind of know who I am and I want to start investing in somebody else. And that's when I guess I felt like I was more mature to understand the meaning of love, which clearly I wasn't. It just felt like the most perfect thing ever, the best love, because it was my first love, obviously. And it was just really hard because it was long distance. So we had a lot of phone calls, just getting to know each other and just, being vulnerable. And I feel like because that was the first time that I felt like I understood love, this person not really like took advantage of that, but they kind of allowed me to feel what I needed to feel, and which is a good thing. But I felt like I myself was going too fast at a pace that I did not fully could not, understand myself. But I thought it was the right thing because that's what I thought love was. They were a little older than I was because I was only 18 when we first met, and they were 5 years older than I was. And he basically has been in like relationships and stuff. So it was just kind of like a relationship thing to him, I guess. And I mean, from what I saw, I don't know how he felt, but that's what I thought. And I just feel like he definitely felt like it was getting rushed when I did want to move forward after being together for a year and talking to each other for a year. So then he kind of broke it off, saying that, we kind of went too fast. And it just kind of made me feel really sad knowing that I invested so much time into this person and I basically poured my heart out to them every single day for a whole year, and they didn't want to do the same thing back. So that's what really hurt me, and I couldn't get over it. So I constantly was picking at myself of why did it go wrong. But the thing is, it was not my fault, and I think that's what we need to remind ourselves, that it's not always your fault. I mean, of course you had a part of it, because it was a two-way relationship, but you should not blame yourself fully for every single thing that has happened, because maybe you were ready and the other person wasn't ready, or that other person was ready and you weren't ready.
I know exactly what you mean, and I can definitely relate of the first part where you mentioned it was easily for them to take advantage of you. Just because it felt nice that someone wanted to not hang out with me, but someone gave me attention, and I guess I've never had that before.
Yeah,
And
see, I
so
think that's the thing, because we are not the type of person to like really like post a picture for a boy or like talk to every single boy, and I've always sorry for cutting you off, but I always felt different about that, because I know there are girls that will go from guy to guy, which is totally fine if you're comfortable with that. But for me, I'm just not comfortable putting myself out there for men. So I think when I got that attention, it was just so different, and I just felt, oh, this is the love that I was supposed to deserve.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there was times where I felt like I don't know if you can relate, but there was times where I felt like I was pushing it more than he was pushing it. I was trying way more than he was trying, and I felt like I should have realized that. And now looking back, I can definitely I don't regret anything at all. I think everything's a learning process, but I just wish that I was able to just tell my younger self, don't invest so much time in someone who doesn't invest in you. And I think that's what made me realize, like after my first heartbreak, I just realized, I don't know, I was so not dumb, but young and so in love. It's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
dumb,
it's
but
like you live and you learn, that's the biggest thing, like you said, like you don't regret anything. And I think that's just something that you need to realize, that, everything happens for a reason and you're going to learn from it, even if it comes to something that you clearly did not want at all. Don't regret it, because it will teach you a lot of things.
honestly, and I feel like everyone has to go through a heartbreak to learn. And no matter like how sad that sounds, like it's just a learning experience and you definitely grow from there.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that like the first love that you have, you're gonna break up with them, whatever, and then that's gonna be it. No, like I know so many people that have like broken up and then like with their first love, whatever. or the person that they're married to now, they broke up and then got back together and things got better. But I think the difference between that and what happened with my own experience, because I was so sad, I was so vulnerable the first time we broke up after a year,